Some of you may know Charles Feeney's story, but for those of you that don't, Charles Feeney made a killing when he was in the army. He decided it would be a good idea to get some local liquor and sell it to the soldiers that were on the base where he was working. And that created a whole industry called the duty free. And he made a killing. In 1982, he established a philanthropic organization called the Atlantic Philanthropies. And without people realizing it, he funneled almost all of his money into Atlantic. And as a philanthropic organization, the intent was to give it all away. In fact, he had a provision in the design of how they gave money away that said anybody who received money from them had to keep their donors a secret, so no one actually knew that he was giving away his money. And it runs so counter to what so many people do today. I mean, as a culture, we've become very let's in your face it, right? Anything we do that we think is worth reporting goes on TikTok or Instagram or Snapchat or Facebook. People trumpet their own goodness. We've even developed this word, virtue signaling, to kind of talk about, look at me, I'm good, right? And here Charles Feeney quietly gives away $8 billion over the course of his life, trying to keep it as secret as he could until he was forced to make it public. Amazing. Also, not original. We're working our way through the Sermon on the Mount. And last week I said that we reached a summary point at the end of chapter 5, and there's a transition to a new section of the Sermon on the Mount in chapter 6, and that's where we are this morning. It's important that we understand what Jesus is saying before we get too locked up in the details, and his point is very clear. He calls us to do righteousness for righteousness' sake.